Welcome to a second programming related video from Multi-Universal Productions. Today we're going to talk about how to write a simple program and initializing variables. So if you watched our video last time, you should know this is how you would set up a Python program. You define the main function and you write your code in there. The good thing about Python language is that you don't need to declare a variable before you initialize it. In other languages such as Java or C++, you'll have to write a declaration and initialization like the way I just did on the second line of main. So here I've written an initialization for the variable a, and we're just going to print it to see if the variable assignment worked. Now you can save the program and run it in the Python shell. And you'll see that the output is in fact 3. Here the variable name a is called an identifier in computer programming. And identifiers have to follow a specific sequence of rules about its name. And we'll talk about that later. So here I just changed the variable and printed B. So you can see that identifiers can be anything. It can be A, B, a name. As long as it's a word, it can be anything that's composed of letters. But it cannot start with, for example, it cannot start with 1 or an underscore. If we do not define a variable before we use it, so we use it here in the print statement, but we did not define it before, the print statement will show an error. As I mentioned before, the variable name or the identifier cannot start with a number. So here, if we type in 1a as the name of the variable, it should show an error. So we're just going to make the program to print 1a and assign 1a before that. Also, in Python, the variable name is different if you type in a capitalized letter versus a lowercase letter. So a capitalized A is different from a lowercase a, and you'll see here that I write the program to define two different variables with the same letter, however the case is different. And the two variables are different, as I'll show in the output. Now let's clear everything we've written in the main function and let's talk about user interaction. So in Python there's a feature that allows the user to enter something and the program will actually read in the input, so it'll respond to whatever input that the user types in. And we can just do that by using the input function, which makes a string variable that is the same as what's inputted in the program. You can also include a prompt inside the parentheses of the input, which is basically when you run the program, it'll show this message before you can type something, and so it'll give, as you can see here, it'll give a prompt to the user. We can also put an eval function outside of the input function, which basically converts the string that you've inputted into a number, so you can do all kinds of calculations and arithmetics with it. Here we see that if you enter the same number, it doesn't do anything because you haven't done any arithmetic or calculations with the variable yet. However, if we type in a plus 1, it'll actually respond, whereas if you don't put the eval function around it, it will not respond, as in it will not add 1 to the a variable that you just typed in. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you'll learn how to assign variables and use variables, as well as user input-output in this lesson. And please comment any questions you have below. Leave a like and subscribe to our channel, please. And you can come back for more programming videos on Introduction to Programming with Python.